Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we're on part 3 of this 07. As you can see, we still have no engine. The engine was supposed to come about 3 days ago now. The guy who had an engine has no longer got an engine, so that's nice. So at the moment we're trying to source another engine for it. If not, it's looking like I'm going to have to just send the head off to have the head worked. I took the head off the original engine. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. It's ended up with just 4 bent valves by the looks of it. So it's looking like just a set of valves, maybe a skin. Got it pressure tested, obviously new head gasket, new head bolts. Works out to roughly be about the same sort of money as what an engine would cost anyway. It's just a bit of a pain because I've already took the engine out. So we can't obviously get on with the engine today, which is unfortunate because this is stuck on my ramp and it's in my way at the moment. So for the time being, we've got the wishbone, the coil spring and the front brakes are here. We can plod on and just get them done for the time being. Probably not going to be a whole lot on this video. I don't know whether I'll put this out as one video or whether I'll just wait until the engine comes back and make it a bit more of a video. But yeah, we've just got the passenger wishbone to do, front distant pads and the driver's side coil spring. So I'll get set up on probably the coil spring first because it's the longest thing to do, and get that done. Unfortunately that's about all we can get on with. So yeah, I'll get you set up on tripod and get that done. Right, okay, so start on the spring. We may as well just take the whole leg off, seeing as the bottom's off anyway and the drive shaft's already out. So it's just 2 bolts here for the caliper. Caliper will just come out of the way. 1 bolt holding the pipe on there, and then we've just got the ABS sensor. Just a couple of little clips, and I think it goes up top here, and the drop link. So we'll get all that disconnected and just drop the whole leg out. It's easier to just do it that way. So I'll set you up on time lapse while we get all that done. And then I'll set you up on the spring compressor and show you the spring compressor being used, and how we actually take these shockers apart. Right, so everything on the bottom's taken off now. Drop link, ABS sensor, track rear end, and the brake caliper. So all that's left now is the top mount bolt, which sits under the scuttle panel here. To get at that, we've got to take off both wipers. Let's see if we can whiz these off. Most of the time these come off all right, but they can be a bit seized and a bit tough to get off at times. Most time once you've got the nut off, you just flick it up, give it a bit of a wiggle, they tend to come off just like that. Sometimes they do seize onto the shaft, and I have got a tiny sort of puller that I can connect to it, and most of the time it gets them off sort of reasonably easily. But yeah, sometimes it can be a bit of a nightmare to get off. Again, just lift them up, give them a bit of a rock, and most of the time they do come off. Doesn't want to. So we've got a small puller. This one literally just slots over the arm. Get the room on this one. You get that in, and then you just wind this down on top of the bolt. bit of a pop. And that's it. Just wind it back off. Should just come out of the way now. Quite sure on these that they're just tucked in under the glass, I think. And that just comes out of the way. Don't need to take any of this part off. Quickly show you inside. All you've got left now is this one big nut. You just undo that. Most of the time you can get it with a gun. Just put a gun on it and it'll undo. Sometimes it can again be a bit of a nightmare and you've got to get a spanner on there and an Allen key in the middle. So we'll try it with a gun and see if it happens. If not, we'll go and find a spanner that fits it. I think these are 21. Yeah. Doesn't feel like it. Let's see. That's come. Has come most of the way. Let's just give it a quick clean with a wire brush and hopefully that'll just get the last little bit off. Oh, okay, so it's all off and this seems to be the card that just keeps on giving. So yes, the shocker is knackered, as we can see. Lovely. Obviously spring we knew about, but now we need a shocker as well, and we may as well just order a top mount on this side, so we just throw a complete shocker on it now, a complete leg. So yeah, I'll have to get that ordered tomorrow, so I can't get that done now. Looks like the wishbone on the other side, and I mean I can do the distant pads, but there's not much point, the hub's on the floor. So yeah, I'll probably just get that other wishbone sorted tonight and then probably call it a day. So I'll get you set up on the other side for the wishbone and hopefully that doesn't cause me any trouble. Right, well, I mean this side it's only a wishbone, so it's only 2 bolts underneath. What could possibly go wrong? So second, just need a spanner on it. Needs just a pin that pushes up through the top. One there. And one there. should hopefully just pop out. So, I know we've got it off. Let me see if I can show you. So on this, it wasn't a whole lot that was up with it. It was just the actual ball joint itself is split, and there's a little bit of play in there. As you can see, it's quite loose. So that's why we're changing that. And yeah, cost wise, it wasn't expensive. I think they were about £20, I think it was, which is not too bad for a full wishbone. The new one, again, just goes in the same way. So it's just a case of getting this back one in first. They can be a bit fidgety to go into place. They're a lot more fidgety to go back in than they are to go out. And then obviously, once you've got them in place, you've then got to try and line up the bushes with the holes. Which can be a bit tricky. Some of them can be a real pain to get to line up. Hopefully this one's not too bad. We've not got a drive shaft, and we've not got the hub attached or anything. Just a case of trying to get these holes to line up, and then we can just drop the pin hopefully straight through. There's one pin in. Hopefully. Two pins. And then it's just a case of putting them 2 bolts back on. One there and one there. And that's basically that one done. So yeah, what I'll do is so you're not on the light. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of point in me uploading just this as a video, so I'll wait until I get some form of news on the engine, and also I'll order the shock absorber and the top mount tomorrow, get that filmed and put all back together, calipers and brakes and pads and whatever else it needs. It's turning out not to be the the quick flip that I was hoping. It has to be a bit of a bloody nightmare, this car, to be fair. But some of them are like that. But by the end of it, it should be a nice car for somebody. So hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Should be just a few seconds for you guys. With some more parts and fingers crossed some news on an engine or either the head sorted. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Hello and welcome back again. So this is about 2, possibly 3 days after we ended tried sourcing an engine, can't find one anywhere. So I've managed to get hold of someone that's going to refurbish the head. So that's going away tomorrow to be done. So it's just a case of basically putting all this back together. I've thrown the engine in, as you can see, only on the 2 side mounts for the time being. We'll get everything else put back together, drive shaft back on, get all the suspension back. It's everything that we can, and then it's just a case of once the head's done, we'll just throw this head back on. I'm hoping to get that back tomorrow, so we'll get head gasket and new head bolts ordered up tomorrow for it. And fingers crossed we can get this car complete tomorrow. So yeah, in this video, well, it's a carry on from a couple of days ago. We'll just try and get all the suspension brakes done on both sides. I've got the new shock absorber for this side with the top mount, so we'll get over to the spring compressor and get that put back together. Get the drive shaft back in it, engine mount back on, and then we'll try and get all this front end back on. So hopefully tomorrow when the head comes, it's just a case of tomorrow night, get this head bolted back on, get it all serviced up. Obviously the timing belt on. At the moment I've got the new water pumps in place and the tensioners on. Obviously can't put a belt on it until this head's done. So yeah, I'll set you up on something. I'll decide which one I'm going to start with. Probably the spring, to be fair. We'll get that done and get this leg back on, and then it's just a case of going underneath and starting to put back together everything that we took off for apparently no reason. Thanks to the scrapyard that let me down. So yeah, let's get set up and get this back together. Right, okay, so we've got the spring in the compressor all set up, new shock absorber. The only thing really is on some of them, they have like a little locator like that, and you just line that up with the bottom of the spring. New top mount for it, and obviously the original dust cover. So it's just placing it up, getting that to line up with the locator. That just slides down until it sticks up. That goes on the top there with the bearing, and then on top of that we've just got one little nut holding everything in place. You just put that on. It's just a case of just tightening that down. Now, and then just releasing the pressure. Sure, it can be a bit of a pain to come out, but eventually give them a bit of a wiggle and a whack and they will come out. But I'll get you set back up on the car on time lapse and we'll get this thrown back on. Right, we've got obviously the discs on, shockers on. We've got the caliper hanging bracket with one stuck slider. The other one's come out nice and free. This one's not. Most of the time with these, you can just grab them with a pair of pliers, and it is rotating, so it's not fully seized. But you just twist it and pull it, and eventually they normally let go and they do come out. Sometimes you just got to get them in the vise and give them a bit more than they have to do with this one. So, but yeah, I'll get this sorted and then I'll come back to it. Right, sorry about that. That's all done now. So we've got obviously both sliders in and working. All cleaned up and a fresh bit of grease in there just to help them for the future. So hopefully the next owner doesn't have that problem further down the line. So it's just a case of getting this back together now. So yeah, we'll get you back on time lapse, get all the caliper and the pads back on, and then we'll probably just throw this drive shaft in on this side, so this side's sort of complete. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. So this side's all done. Just give this disc a bit of a wipe down, get all the handprints off it. But everything's in place. Drive shaft back on. A second, just get it. That one's not too good. Yeah, everything's back on. So we'll get the other side built up, and then probably call it a day for today. I'm getting a bit tired now, and it's just been one of them days today where nothing's gone right. So we'll just come back at it tomorrow and get all that front end on, and hopefully get it off the ramp and rolling again. So yeah, we'll get you set back up on the other side, get this the brakes run on the other side, and get the drive shaft back in, and then call it a day. Okay, so we've got all the suspension back together. It's at least able now to put the wheels on it and get it off the ramp and wheel the car outside if I need to. Obviously the engine's in with all the drive shafts. We've just got obviously like alternator and start motors, alternator and air pump put in front. Wait for the cylinder head, hopefully back tomorrow. And then it's just going to be wiring and then get all this front end back on. To be fair, that's reasonably easy to do anyway, there's not a whole lot involved in that. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed by the end of tomorrow at least, it should be running. So yeah, been a bit of a nightmare this car. It's just been one problem after another. I think I've still managed to keep it within budget, but we'll find that out at the end when I add everything up. Yeah, other than it, the engine being a bit of a nightmare, I think to take it out and put it back in for no reason. Most things aren't too bad. The usual wear and tear stuff like your brakes and your suspension. So yeah, we'll call it a day today, and then I'll probably come in early tomorrow and start just getting this front one ready and get it ready for the head. So, as usual, if you like what you see, just give us a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know how you think we're getting on, follow and subscribe. I'm on Instagram as well. Most of the time I'll post things on Instagram just to give a bit of a heads up of what's coming, so give us a follow on there, and I'll see you in the next video.